Okay. With that, I would like to welcome everybody here, and I'd like to call this meeting of the Town Board of the Town of Northeast to order. Today is Thursday, April 11th, 2024 at 7 o'clock, and we're at Town Hall. I'd like to ask you all to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty, and justice for all.
Okay.
Okay,
We do the roll call.
yes, please, Tilly, and thank you for joining us by Zoom.
Supervisor Cannon. Councilwoman Morrison,
Here.
Councilman Fidele,
Here.
Councilwoman Winkler,
Here.
Councilman Mayville.
Thank you. I have distributed a copy of the agenda, which was posted on the website and on the bulletin board. I have two amendments or additions to the agenda. The first is that we have received the text of an RFP for work on the new town hall, for the renovation of the interior of the new town hall. And we asked Warren to very quickly prepare a resolution for the board to accept the RFP so that we can post it and on the website and put it in the newspaper and put it on Dutchess County BidNet. So that's the first edition, and the second is that we have copies of the standard workday and reporting resolution. This is something we do every year, and it has been 3 months, which we needed 3 months to go by. And then the board needs to approve it, then it needs to be posted, then it needs to get sent to the state or the state retirement system. With those two amendments to the agenda, I would like to ask for a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any noes? Thank you. A few comments. And this sounds like this could be Warren. Yep, it is. Hi, Warren.
How are you?
We're good. Make yourself comfortable. Meg has gotten you water already, just to,
Oh, okay. No, Jen?
Well, I won't disclose that.
Thank you.
No breathalyzer.
we have just approved the agenda, and I added to the agenda the mention of the RFP, which you've produced a resolution for. Couple of comments. First of all, welcome everybody, and welcome. I think we can finally say to spring, although we have to be careful about that because we can be fooled. I have been busy with a lot of things, including the Dutchess County Supervisors and Mayors Association, which is something that all of the towns and villages in the county belong to. And I have been going to that, as I think as most of the members of the board know, pretty much every month for the last 4 years. And there was a reorganization of that organization in our meeting in February. And as a result of that reorganization, I am now the treasurer of that. And Robert McKeon, who is the supervisor of the town of Red Hook, is the president of it. And Mary Cavucci, who is the supervisor of the town of Beekman, is the vice president of that. So it is, the slate that I was part of had the objective of having a bipartisan slate. So that we can discuss things in that meeting which are of interest to towns and which are relevant to the work that towns do and that are not partisan. So that I think was a good thing, and it's a good organization because there's a lot of things which are discussed there, which I can bring back to the town. One of the things which I know is being discussed very actively in other towns, especially towns closer to Route 9, is the issue of short-term rentals. That's something which we discuss there, which it's a great benefit for me to be able to listen to other towns, hear their experiences, how that's worked. I went to the American Legion's pancake breakfast on Sunday, and I had invited George Whalen, who's the president or the head of the Bank of Millbrook, who had reached out to me and said that he is looking to open a branch in the town on the boulevard and wanted to meet more people and see more people. And I said, you can't beat the American Legion for probably a lot of people. So he was there. That was noted in the newspaper, although it was incorrectly reported that the breakfast was the fire department's breakfast. It was not. It was the American Legion's. Nothing's perfect. Bless you. Progress on the highway garage. The building is substantially complete. There are still a few relatively minor punch list items in the interior, which are being worked on at the moment. The next step, and nothing's ever the final step, but the next step in this is the site work, which was not part of the contract that was put out to bid for that. And we are being helped by the construction company of Colarusso, who's doing the sub-base, will be doing sub-base work next week and blacktopping after that. And the blacktopping, as I think I've mentioned, everybody has had to wait until the weather is warmer because you don't blacktop in January, February. Anyway, with that will then enable the town's highway department to really start moving into the building and using it on a regular basis. So that will be a big step forward. There are a couple of minor things which we will still be looking to do. One will be to get the flagpole put up. We bought the flagpole during the winter and it is there in storage. Looking forward to getting that up. And one of the things which was not part of the contract either was to have a sign either by the road or on the building. So that's something that I would like to look into, see what other highway departments have in the way of signage so that people know that that is the town's highway department. Next weekend is Earth Day on April 20th. Earth Day this year is going to be a shared Earth Day celebration with the town of Amenia. And the actual event will be mostly in Amenia, in the Amenia Town Hall. I think down in the lower level, which I think is the old gymnasium. And it will be from 12 to 4 on the 20th. And I will be down there and we're going to try and get the word out as best we can. I know that the newspaper, and we'll put something on the town's website and in the town's Facebook page about that. We have not yet scheduled a bulk trash day for this year. We've gone really from trying to do 2 bulk trash days a year down to 1, because we found that when we were doing 2, we had done such a good job that we were not producing enough bulk trash to justify the cost of it. So it seems that 1 a year is the right number. And we are looking at Saturday, May 18th as the date for bulk trash day. We've been trying to keep it away from Earth Day so that it didn't compete with Earth Day. That's the last weekend before Memorial Day weekend, so I think it's sort of the last, after that we get into the summer and so on, but it appears at the moment that the 18th is a good date for it. And if anybody on the board knows of anything which makes that not a good date, let me know. But at the moment, that's what we're gonna go with. And lastly, just to bring the board up to date, the zoning review committee has, and I'm glad that Edie is here, and Edie could speak to this herself, if you would like.
Oh,
Uh,
absolutely.
okay, just because we have reached a juncture, at least, I think maybe that's the right
I
word.
think that's exactly the right word.
Okay, so would you like to just fill the board in on where we are with this long work that you've done?
I'm waiting on consultants, lawyers and consultants, but we have finished reviewing all the sections that we started to review. And we had a couple of questions. As I think I've told you in the past, the whole package is going to the lawyers, but there was one section, prohibited uses, that we wanted input. It's a short, I hope to get feedback next week, maybe even tomorrow, on our 2 questions about whether, so that Will can write the code the right way. Then he is pulling together a package. I canceled our regular meeting for Monday because we didn't have an agenda. And I've tentatively scheduled a regular meeting on the 29th because Will's available then. I'm hoping that we will get his comments from the attorneys and the draft, the big draft. We will then send to the attorneys for their review, the whole thing. We have worked with them on signs. And as a caveat, I was at the Dutchess County Planning Board last night and spoke to Owen Rafter, who said that he thought it would be most helpful because it's going to be long and they are required to turn around in 30 days. What I'm going to propose is that when we have a package that goes to the attorneys, we send it for informal comment at the county planning as well. So that we'll meet again. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but we'll meet again to review the comments. Now I think we'll get comments back, preliminary comments from the county as well as the attorney. Turn that around and then give it to you. And then you will formally send it to Dutchess County.
After we've reviewed it.
Well, of course, after you
Right.
and Warren have, but part of your process is to formally send it for comment for them. But I think I can save us a little time by doing it, double tracking that part. And then have my committee gather at least once, if not twice, more. And then come up with a package that we present to you.
Okay, thank you. I did make a comment at the end of the last ZRC meeting, and I'm sure have the opportunity to make it again, that on behalf of the board, to express our real genuine appreciation for years, many years of really diligent work on trying to bring the zoning of the boulevard, and to some degree with some other bits and pieces that will spill over into residential, up to up to where we are in this day and age and so on. So we will have an opportunity to express our appreciation, I'm sure, again. And I will do that to the members of the committee, but it can't be said enough. It was a slog, a long,
It was a wonderful committee.
yeah,
Nobody jumped ship, really.
yeah, no, I know. So anyway, that's, we'll be coming back to that.
Yes, we were.
With that, we have department and committee reports. Bob, you want to fill us in on how the highway department is?
Everything's going well. The equipment is doing well this month. We have the shared bucket truck this month, so we're out taking down dead trees.
Mm-hmm. I know that you got one on Lower Mill Road,
We did, that was our first one.
one that had been brought to my attention by a resident down there as being something that was falling into the road and so on.
It's on our list. We took care of that on April 1st.
Yep. And how long do we have the bucket truck for? All
And
right,
again in October.
are we running out of things to do with it?
Oh,
Okay, just checking. Okay, but the rest of the equipment is, at the moment, is
Moment, everything's up.
nothing's in the shop?
Nothing in the shop at the moment.
Okay, that's always good news.
Yes.
And as we were talking about the garage, obviously when after the asphalt is blacktopping is done, and then after it has had a period of time to cure without heavy equipment rolling over it, it will then be in a position for you to start, moving things into the garage and start to use it. And we'll, I'm sure we'll have a conversation again, probably a number of them about that and whether that is, I doubt that's something that the highway department is going to be able to do all of by themselves, but maybe we'll find out. We'll keep the board posted on that. But it will be exciting to see the building actually in use. And it'll also be exciting, particularly, I think, for the highway crew, to see the old highway garage not in use and vacant. People have asked me over time what the town's plans are for that site and for the building. And my response has been that my hope will be to have the building taken down and get rid of it. I think the process of what to do with that site is going to be a longer process. It's in the village. The village certainly has a significant voice in what should happen with that site. And so I think we want to take our time. It's a really important site. It's arguably walking distance from Main Street. And it is very close to the rail trail. It's very close to the Weavertuck Creek. So all of those are things which have to be taken into consideration, but it's an important site and it's important asset property of the town. So we'll be coming back to that, but it's not something we're going to try and get rid of in a nanosecond. We do not have a report from the assessor. We have reports from planning, zoning, and building, I believe. Tilly, do you have a comment on those?
Those were sent to the board, I believe, and I think the ZRC one the ZBA one was resent so that it could be opened.
Okay,
And I also sent a tax report, just a summary collection yesterday, that's all, so.
okay. Do you want to verbally give us the tax report or a summary of it?
91.
91, yeah.
91?
91%, yeah, and about
Okay, that,
a little over $5,000 in penalties collected so far too, so.
mhm, okay,
So it's going well. And Chris Virtuoso has been a huge help again. helping collect the taxes too. I'm really grateful for his part in that.
Great. Well, we all are, yeah, we should just say that we're sorry for the reason that you have had to be absent for these past couple of weeks. But are looking forward to getting you back and having you back healthy and mobile. And appreciate the fact that you're able to be with us by Zoom this
Yeah.
evening.
And I also want to say Marcy, my deputy Marcy Wheatley has been amazing too, really.
Good.
Right.
Thank you for that.
Mhm.
Board committee activity, I think we might just have two reports on. Chris, do you want to just say anything about recreation or the Rattlesnake Run?
So we have a meeting Tuesday.
Mhm.
So we haven't really discussed that any further
Okay,
since the last.
well, it's just
Well,
safe to say that the Rattlesnake Run is going to happen. And that it's a run that will be on May
Second.
2nd. Which is a Saturday?
There's some posters around.
Yeah,
Too.
Yeah,
May
I posted them on I tried to post them on here, but they're May 5th? Okay, anyway,
It's Saturday in May.
it's the first Saturday in May. And it is something that was proposed by a resident of the town of Northeast. It is not a race, it's a recreational run of varying distances. And it's for those who want to do the longest possible run. It starts in Millerton, but people who want to run a shorter distance can start either down in Coleman Station or down actually in Amenia and run down to Wassaic. So it's a run that instead of everybody starting at the same place, everybody ends at the same place, which is down in Amenia in Wassaic, and there will be bus transportation back to the starting points. So it's equally an opportune time for people who want to walk that distance. So it should be noted, this is not for sprinters or marathoners.
No.
It's not competitive, and from Amenia down to Wassaic, it's only 2.5 miles. So it's a nice walk.
Mhm.
And if it proves to be a well-attended event, when he was speaking with Ron and Jen and I, we talked about the possibility of alternating ending spots year to year, so that's what he said.
Okay, great.
Chris, I had a little thing for the communications committee.
Okay,
Chris Maybill and myself met to have a preliminary touch base. And so we're brainstorming of some abilities to update certain things. Of course, one will be the photos of our beautiful new garage and some other things. So because it's pretty sad what's up there right now, but we, and then other opportunities for whether it's for the zoning review committee is, and also maybe later updating how the planning board, like the things we learned at the Pace Land
mhm,
sessions about giving people roadmaps, how to apply for permits and all those things. So we're just starting to share notes amongst ourselves, and then we'll meet with Tilly and yourself.
okay, great. And do you want to say anything about housing?
Yeah, I mean, we're at a point where we've learned so many things about opportunities, now that we're moving forward on potential, having zoning in place for our boulevard district. I think it'll help create more, productive dialogue with developers or other people planning, hopefully coming to our community to build mixed use, whether it's housing and businesses, things. Chris and myself are looking into surrounding towns are joining the pro-housing initiative that the governor had set up, and that's really just sort of like, Chris, I think it's like the climate action
Mhm.
like getting a certificate to say you endorse it, but we'll be coming back. Initially, it's not a lot of work. Later, it's like showing your updated zoning and those things to support bringing housing. And that's about it for me.
Okay. Great. Thank you. Habitat for Humanity, as the board knows, we sold a piece of town property on Red Pond Road to Habitat for Humanity of Dutchess County, which is as distinct from Habitat for Humanity of Columbia County. And they are moving forward with plans to construct a house. And it'll be a single-family house with a 3-bedroom, single-family house which will be made available to a family, ideally from our community, from Northeast or Armenia. So, two towns that are in the same school district. And there are income limits on that. And Maureen Lashley, who is the head of Habitat for Humanity of Dutchess County, will be with us at our next board meeting in May. One of the things which they will be looking to do will be to host informational sessions in the town, and they don't know where they will be, but I have offered Town Hall as a place if they would like to use that for families that are interested in being that family. So for families who qualify for this, it is a really interesting opportunity to become owner occupiers of a house in the town. And the plan is actually for the building to go up this year. Site work would, once the building department has reviewed it, the county's health department has reviewed it. So there are a lot of regulatory hurdles for them to go through, but they look forward to getting underway. The image, I think, which many people have had of Habitat for Humanity from 30 years ago, of sort of the whole town coming together and everybody grabbing a hammer and nailing it together, is a little out of date. They now bring in modular units, which are cost effective and can result in the building going up quite quickly. So that is something that Maureen, when she is here next month, will be able to explain to us. But it's been a while since they acquired the property, and we've been pursuing them to find out what they were going to be doing, but now they are moving forward on it.
Good. Right.
Also, at our meeting in May, we will be joined by Joel Friedman, who is he was a senior director of New York Class. New York Class is an organization that was put together for the benefit of municipalities in New York State to invest their investable funds in short-term liquid assets. This is something that competes with what we can get from banks. And it is, I think that the number of towns in the state which are part of it it's in the hundreds. Many towns that are in Dutchess County are part of New York Class. Their rates are better than we get from the bank. And I think it's something that the town we should be looking at, the opportunity to earn a higher interest rate than we are getting from NBT is something that should be of interest to us. It is very secure. It is a very conservatively managed portfolio. And I distributed to the board some information about it. Joel Friedman who did appear before the Dutchess County Supervisors and Mayors Association, will be here to walk us through in depth what they do, what the investment profile of the assets in it is, what the risks are of it. And I think you'll find it very interesting. I think it's a very, very competitive and an attractive and appealing product for the benefit of, of towns in New York State. I did already mention that Earth Day and April 20th in Armenia. The next item on the agenda is the motion to approve the renewal of bond anticipation note. And you have a copy of that? Right. We have a ban, a ban, as the board knows, stands for a bond anticipation note. And it is a vehicle that towns are able to use for a period of time before going out for permanent financing. And it is a 1-year note essentially. And it has to be renewed, and I think it can be renewed for up to 5 years. We're not at that level yet. But the one that we have that is due on the 19th of April is a ban of $3,842,758. And we have had that with Greene County Commercial Bank at a rate of 3.96%. We circulated to banks in our area that we were going to be renewing the ban and asked for proposals of what they would give us in terms of an interest rate. And we got 3 quotes back, and the lowest of those was from Greene County Commercial Bank. It's for 4.04%. So we are going from 3.96% up to 4.04%. So that's really very good. We had other quotes that were as high as over 5%. So this was, I'm glad that Greene County was able to do that. With that, I would like to ask the board to approve accepting the proposal from Greene County Commercial Bank for the renewal of a ban at 4.04% going forward.
So moved.
Second.
Who was
And
second? I'm sorry, who was second?
Meg seconded it.
Thank you.
And with that, I'd like to ask for a roll call vote on that.
Okay. Supervisor Kennon,
Aye.
Councilwoman Morrison,
Aye.
Councilman Fidele,
Aye.
Councilwoman Winkler,
Aye.
Councilman Mayville.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, so that was approved, and Lorna, you'll be communicating with Greene County, and the good news is the money's not really moving.
Now, we just have to assign a voucher after the meeting for the small amount of principal and the interest that we need to pay to the bank.
Okay. But I'm really happy with this renewal of ban. This is the large, we have 2 that are outstanding. The other one is much smaller. The other one is for 813,000, and that one is not due till August 16th.
Is that on the garage also? or-
Yeah,
Okay.
they're both relate to the garage. So the next item is really an exciting one. It's taken us a while to start to be able to move forward in a definable and logical way on the new town hall. And as the board knows, we've acquired the former Jehovah's Witness property on Route 22 for use as a new town hall. And I am very grateful to Jeannie Van Eco, town resident and architect, who has been of enormous help to us in designing a reconfigured building, which will be appropriate for the town and for the court of the town. And in many ways, the needs of the court have driven the design of the interior, but I think we're going to end up with a very attractive and useful boardroom, which will also be a courtroom, and which will seat many more people than we have here, so we can have larger crowds. And we will have offices which are all ADA accessible. As I've mentioned before, the building is all on one slab. It is a relatively new building in very good shape. And we did retain a electrical engineering company to do an analysis of the heating and air conditioning and electric systems of the building, which was done by this company called LAN Engineering, which is a new company to us. We searched to find a company that really specialized in HVAC and electrical engineering instead of going to our regular town engineers. And I'm very happy that we did. I think we got a really very detailed and superior product back from them. And we asked them to prepare the portion of the RFP which would pertain to the electrical and HVAC systems. We have also asked another local architect, Larry Wente, to incorporate the electrical and HVAC proposals into a full RFP for the reconstruction of the interior of the building, because in addition to electrical and HVAC, there are actually some walls that will change and reconfigure the bathrooms. We're very lucky that Jeannie is actually able to be with us tonight, and I don't know what you would like to add to that, Jeannie, in terms of a description of how this project will unfold. But I think it's fair to say that with the issuance of an RFP, we will now be, with great anticipation, looking forward to actually getting proposals from companies that are going to come in and actually do the work of reconfiguring the interior of the building.
The one thing I'd like to say, because I've met with everybody over these many months to develop the plans based on the individual needs of each department here. And I think you've all looked at the plans probably at least once, if not more. It turns out that this project is mostly an HVAC project. The part of it that's the configuration of space is pretty straightforward. Basically, about a third of the building is being reconfigured. We're using some existing spaces, like for the clerk's office. The space that is currently 2 conference rooms is being doubled, and that's what the court space is going to be. And then the rest of the open space is going to be really built out with modular office systems. And those modular office systems are not part of this RFP. We're trying to do everything we can to stay under a $500,000 limit for reasons that I'm sure you're familiar with. We don't want to have to get multiple bids on the trades like HVAC, plumbing, and electrical. So the RFP that is before you tonight is the part of the project minus the office systems, minus the painting. That's another thing that we have outside of it as a way of staying underneath that 500 limit. and is a little bit of carpentry and a lot of HVAC. Turns out there's really nothing of the existing system that we can reuse. The ductwork wasn't properly laid out even for the configuration they had. And there were fans like in the bathroom, it should have vented to the outdoors, it just vented into the attic. And also since the 30 years ago when that building was built, code has changed for these various systems, the energy requirements are different. So anyway, what you have before you, I think, is a very well engineered package. And the part of it that is not the engineering is pretty straightforward and is part of the big package. So if anybody has any questions for me, let me know, but I think the sooner we can get this out for bid, the better.
Well, I don't probably have any immediate questions, except, I mean, we will go through the formal process, which we are required to under New York State law and county. This will be advertised on the county's BidNet system. We will be putting it in the paper. We'll be putting it on the website. We'll be trying to get word out about this construction opportunity, and we'll try to make sure that it goes to firms that have a particular expertise in HVAC and electrical systems. We did look at the potential for trying to completely electrify the building. There's a lot of interest in trying to decarbonize and electrify buildings, and the costs of doing that were really very, very daunting to the town and would have added a huge expense and time, and really would have been in many ways rebuilding the building. So we will be trying to make it as climate smart friendly as we can, and it will be much more so than it is at the moment. All the equipment, as you can imagine, 30 years later is just vastly different. But it's already a very energy efficient building. It's well insulated. It is, it also has the potential, because it's a 3-acre site, to locate solar array on the site or on the roof or both. So and it's right by the road, so it is very close to the power lines that it would need to be close to if we were to do that. So I think we'll, probably have a report for the board now each month. One of the things we have to look at is when we would be able to receive these bids. And I know on the resolution that you prepared, that date is left blank at the moment. And we obviously have to have a date, but to put in the paper and when we advertise it. I believe in the materials that were given to us by Larry Wente that there is a date, which I think is
May 9th.
May 9th, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is the same day as our board meeting in May. So that may be too little time
Yeah.
for the board to reflect and analyze and consider the proposals. I would like potential bidders on this to have as much time as they need to visit the site and to do the work that they need to do to give us a good, thorough, well thought through proposal. So I don't think we should be trying to, and this is one instance where I want to take whatever time it takes to get that back. Jeannie?
Another consideration there is it's bidding season now, and if we want bidders to really bid this, they're gonna want to get in there sooner rather than later. So what Larry and I had talked about was giving bidders a month. It's not, it isn't that complicated a project, and I think a month is adequate for that. And I'm afraid if we extend that very much, we're gonna lose a whole bunch of contractors that might have been interested in it because they wanna get their contracts lined up for the busy season.
Right. Well, I certainly wasn't proposing or suggesting that we would postpone it by another month. The board can meet and has met sometimes in a special meeting. I would like to make sure that we give them enough time from the time they first find out about it. And I know it is something that we will be working on probably all together to make sure that the firms that could be qualified to do this and potentially very interested in this know about it even before before it appears on BidNet and so on. I'm trying to think, the 9th is
4 weeks
essentially 4 weeks
from today.
from today.
Yeah.
Is it your feeling that will be enough time?
I would give it another week. By the time we get everything posted, I would give it another week.
Which would take it to
16.
May 16th.
May 16th, which is a Thursday.
Or the 15th.
And that's good because Tilly is usually here. And trying to think if there's anything else going on the 16th, but I can't think of anything. Warren, does that sound?
Yeah, I was a little concerned about the time, but it's true. This is the bidding season and the experience we've had in the past in getting good bids. So I wouldn't delay it past May 16th. If you want to change the resolution, so we put the date, we don't have to put the date in the resolution.
We don't, it will be,
So
but
we can
we,
just say a date to be
Right.
determined, by the town supervisor and the other consultants to the town. But that sounds reasonable. I had a couple of questions for
Your school.
Larry.
It's
I'll
Wednesday.
try to get some calls.
Tuesday and Wednesday, or Wednesday and
I'll
Thursday?
be back from him, so I'll speak to him.
I'll be back.
Otherwise, the bid package is very good to me from a legal standpoint.
There is one change I would like to have there, which is to say that the painting is not included in the specification.
Yeah, I didn't spend much time.
Well, we can do it legally.
Warren, did you see the insurance agent's comment?
Yeah, that's one of the things about a umbrella. I'm not sure we need that. I mean, the insurance reform is pretty comprehensive, but do you think we need an umbrella? I've never seen an umbrella policy.
no, I mean, I looked at the insurance, I read through what was in the RFP,
Mhm.
which looked quite
It was pretty comprehensive.
pretty comprehensive, and the Larry Wente's firm is a New York firm,
Yeah,
and they're not shy about putting in insurance requirements.
yeah. The only question I have, and I'll talk to him about it, was he didn't have a liquidated damage clause in there, and he said that was to be determined by the contract, but was your anticipation that this would be the contract, or would it be followed by a contract? Usually, the bid is the document itself is the contract. But we don't have a liquidated damage provision in there.
Yeah, well, I think the bid can get incorporated into something that then becomes a whole contract.
Yeah, I could do I mean, essentially, most of the contractual terms are in the bid document
Right.
already. So we can do a very short contract and then agree on what, I would like to have a liquidated damage clause in there, so. And maybe we could revise it so it's in the
Okay.
bid package.
I don't know whether anybody on the board has any questions for either for Jeannie or for Warren or for me on this. But we have a resolution authorizing the solicitation of sealed bids for the remodeling of the property located at 5603 Route 22, Town of Northeast, currently owned by the town for use as a new town hall. It's been distributed to the board. We can read it, or we can waive the reading if you
Waive the
feel
reading
we're
and just go
okay
to
with that.
resolve.
By, describe the purpose of the resolution. We have discussed the purpose of the resolution. And, with that, I would, unless there are any further questions, I would entertain a motion to approve, the resolution.
With the change that instead of inserting the bid date, we'll just say it at such
With-
date as the town supervisor shall determine.
Right, and we have a fairly decent idea of when that will be
Yeah.
at this point, but we'll,
But we don't
we'll
have to be back
review
to
that. So with that, understanding and that change, I would entertain a motion to approve the resolution.
Second.
Okay, Tilly, could you conduct a roll call vote on this, please?
Yes. Supervisor Cannon,
Aye.
Councilwoman Morrison, Councilman Fidele,
Aye.
Councilwoman Winkler,
Aye.
Councilman Mayville.
Okay. Thank you for that. Okay, we did the workday reporting. No, we haven't done the workday reporting. I knew you wouldn't let me get out of here without. This is something which is one of the more obscure aspects of town government, as far as I'm concerned. But it is called the Standard Workday Reporting Resolution for Elected and Appointed Officials. Thank you, Jeannie, for coming down. And this is for those employees of the town who are in the state retirement system. And it is a form that needs to be distributed to the board, approved by the board, and then posted on the bulletin board for a month, at which point it could be sent to the state. We do this every year. So with that, I would entertain a motion to approve the standard workday and reporting resolution for elected and appointed officials.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No opposed. Okay, I think that's everything you were looking for, everything I was looking for. Public comment, any public comment before the board? Bill?
I have two unrelated comments, so if it's okay with you all, I'll pick one and then see if there are other people want to talk, and then I'll do the other one. Okay. Item number one, has to do with the LED signs that are proliferating, in the town. I believe that they will continue to proliferate in the town, because it seems like, people are in the mood to not ask permission, but ask forgiveness, and they're just throwing up the signs right now. I think it's really important to enforce the zoning that we have in the town. It is, believe it or not, actually good for the economy of the town to enforce the zoning. It lets people know that their neighbors are going to be, adhering to certain regulations. That isn't going to be a Wild West. With respect to the LED signs particularly, I am concerned about sort of the Wild West situation that could occur. As you know, you can't regulate from the planning board, and you can't regulate as a town board the contents of any signs. And what's nice about a brick and mortar sign where you have, a sign that's painted on the board or in some way, physically static, is that the chances are that the business that puts up the sign is going to put up identification for their business, which is what the Greenway Compact says you want. It says you want signs to be identification and not advertising. With an LED sign, or an electronic messaging sign, or whatever you want to call it, it's really the same thing. A sign owner can vary the signage, the message, at will. So at one moment it can advertise, some special that they're offering. Another moment it can, say what the name of the business is. At a third moment, if they want to, they put a political message up. And we've seen the sorts of political messages that people will throw up when they get pissed off, and it can get pretty ugly. So, I just want to say that from my standpoint, I think that the best thing that the town can do is not to allow LED signs of any form to be permitted within the commercial districts of the town. I think that if you look around at towns that do allow them, you'll see that they tend to proliferate and that they're problematic. And I just wanted the board to know that, at least from my standpoint, there's a few people out there who find them problematic. It's not a matter of, it's not bothering anybody. It does bother some people.
Okay. Anyone want to respond for your next comment?
Okay. Comment number 2. So I've been volunteering with an organization called Food and Water Watch. They're a well-respected environmental organization, and they are organizing communities around Dover that are going to be impacted by the expansion of the Iroquois pipeline compressor station down there. It's going to be potentially doubled in size if DEC permits it, which would mean it will produce twice as much pollution. The types of pollution it'll emit are very bad for people's health. In addition to that, it will increase the amount of methane that gets pumped down to New York City, which is counter to New York's environmental goals and climate goals, and we're a climate smart community, so I think that fits. And one of the things Food and Water Watch wanted to do was to set up a table to provide information about this and to collect petition signatures at the Millerton Anemia Earth Day event. And I did contact the person I thought was the coordinator for the Earth Day event for Millerton. And I was told, yeah, maybe that could be okay. There's asked if there was going to be a political aspect to this. I said, no, it's not political, it's environmental. So I was told, okay, probably it'll work. And then I was told no. So since the Climate Smart Committee is under the, I believe, the supervision of the town board, I would like to ask the town board to instruct the Climate Smart Committee to allow Food and Water Watch to table at this event.
Okay, it sounds like a reasonable thing to have at Earth Day. Earth Day, as I mentioned earlier before you got here, will be in Armenia. So I don't know what it's going to be in Armenia Town Hall. So they are actually in charge of what is in their building on that day. But we will, I will communicate with the Climate Smart community and with the supervisor of Armenia and let him know that that from our perspective, if as long as it is not political, but environmental information, that we would like to see it there.
Thank you very much.
And I think I signed on as a citizen, and I believe they've already collected 2,200 signatures. What was on this last, and I do have to mention, so many people were involved with Cricket Valley when it was too late, and so many folks said, I wish I was part of it. And it was going on, and we had a voice, and many people weren't part of it. So for me personally, we're in real time, so I think it's important to bring people's awareness to the situation too. So I'm glad that they'll be allowed to have a table.
Okay, any other, Rich?
Thank you. So to piggyback on what, Bill's concern was about the signage, you know, I saw on the Military News the article about the Legion and the school signs. And, you know, having driven past them, they never really, I never really had an opinion about them. But now I noticed that the fire department, which I know is not in the town, but you know, their board is getting very loud and colorful. And, you know, lots of just random time, temperature, like the need to put content up, is it just creeps up on you, like, you know, we need to keep putting new things out there. My previous life in New York, where we did technology, you know, the cost of these things is so cheap. They're internet connected. I mean, once you get electricity out to wherever you're doing it. And there's the opportunity for advertising. So, you know, even if it sounds like, you know, a business owner can do it. Well, a business owner can sell time on their display to an ad company and have no control over what's happening. So if you want like your gas station video out on Main Street or whatever, or Boulevard East or whatever, you know, that could happen. The technology's there. Somebody, you know, it may not be awareness of it, but say, hey, my sign's gonna get paid for if I just run ads every other minute. You know, I don't know that's where we wanna go.
All right, thank you. Edie, anything more? Any public comment?
No.
No. Um. Okay, let me find my paperwork. Warren, at this point, we're just doing the budget abstract and, I know you'd like to stay for it,
I'd
but,
love to stay, that's my favorite part of the meeting.
Thank you.
I'm sure that we will have, as we get into the, work on the, new town hall, there will be issues that will come up, hopefully not too many. Hopefully, not involving, in fact, it would really be great if there were none. Or at least many fewer than the highway, project has involved, but, I think it should be hopefully a busy summer for this project and, we'll, looking forward to moving along on this. We'll work with you on this resolution and getting the date into it, and then,
Sure.
in terms of getting it to the newspaper, it has to go to the newspaper tomorrow to get in next week's paper. So there is actually a time urgency to this. So I will be in touch with you tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be in the office, but Barbara won't be in, so if I don't.
I know how to find you.
You know how to get.
I know how to find you.
Good night,
Okay.
everybody.
Okay, good night. Thank you. I have a budget adjustment, number 2 for 2024. A fund, an expense increase of $25,000, less a revenue increase of $25,000 for a net of 0. Could I have a motion to approve the budget adjustment?
So moved.
Moved by Lana, seconded by Chris. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you. I have a special abstract dated March 26, 2024. Totaling $1,510.21, broken down as follows. A fund, $1,510.21. Could I have a motion to approve the special abstract?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No, none. Thank you. And what's the date? It's the 11th. I have an abstract dated April 11th, 2024, totaling $409,407.74, broken down as follows. A fund, $297,928.18. B fund, $3,088.50. DB fund, $45,444.31. Capital projects H1, $62,688.28. Payroll T and A, $258.47. Could I have a motion to accept the abstract?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Pass this around. I also have a voucher. And this voucher is for to pay the
Some principal and interest.
some principal and interest on the existing ban. And that needs,
Everybody's signature.
oh, okay. We all get to sign it. Thank you for coming.
We all sign this one?
Yep.
Okay. Where is my? There we are. Okay, we've done budget adjustment and abstracts. The voucher committee for May of 2024 would be Ralph Fidelli and Meg Winkler.
Almost done.
And we have minutes which have been distributed to us. Do we have minutes from the March meeting?
There was a draft.
Has everybody had a chance to look at the minutes?
Mhm.
Okay, that's the meeting of March 14th.
Yeah.
Yes.
3/14, yeah. Oh, yeah,
3/14.
March 14th.
With that, could I have a motion to approve the minutes of March 14th?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Ralph, seconded by Lana. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. There is no meeting with council because council has left. So with that, I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Lana, seconded by Chris Mayville. To adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion, we are adjourned.
Great.
Thank you, Tilly. And we will be in touch by phone tomorrow.
Good. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Lorna.
Welcome.
Feel better. Poor
Thank
children.